Jumping into point number 1 here of the wild card round at the 2023 NXL Sunshine State Major. Most important day of the tournament. And Matty Marshall here with Rich Telford. And in this first set, it's going to be the New Orleans Hurricanes taking on Infamous Bears and NRG Elite. Again, wild card round, do or die moments here on Sunday. And looks like a good break here for the Hurricanes so far, Rich.
Both teams make a good breakout 5-on-5. Infamous just lost their first player from the Dorito side wedge. He should get out the field before he draws a penalty.
Yeah, so they are going to be pulling that body out.
4-on-5 advantage here for the Hurricanes. Good morning, everybody, and welcome.
It's a little chilly out here this morning.
No, it's freezing, Matt. It's freezing.
Yeah.
If only we had some of that tasty Infamous coffee to keep us warm.
I mean, I definitely can see my breath, so that means that not too many bounces we're probably going to see out of this morning.
He can see it. I can smell it, guys. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so 5-on-5 break, and no one taking any risks here.
Nope. Infamous took a big bite on the break. I don't know if you can see it. He went snake 50 on the break.
Oh, did he? Okay.
And it was so fast, I'm not even sure who it was. Probably Jambros, maybe.
Yeah, no, there he is. Yeah, Jonah. So,
Yeah.
so definitely aggressive breakout here for Infamous. Sorry, he's blocked out, but...
Did you say you were blacked out?
No, blocked
Oh,
out.
sorry.
I know the coffee hasn't kicked in yet, and daylight savings time. It's a little early. But, yeah, so minute and a half ticking off the clock here. Jonah still in a good spot, still 5-on-5. So
5-on-4.
5-on-4, did they get killed?
Yeah, Infamous lost the first guy on the wing.
Oh, okay, and from the wing.
Yep, and Hurricanes just get out to the Dorito corner, so 5 across the line there. Infamous with a little bit more of an aggressive posture with 1 in the 50 snake. They got Callie Rudolph behind him in the center wedge. Wrestleback now filling to the Dorito corner. Looks like he got out there live. 5-on-4 advantage here for the Hurricanes. Hurricanes are playing this field really well, Matt. They're very controlled. They're very disciplined. This is a good field for them, good stylistically speaking.
Yeah, man, the Hurricanes, great story. Just moving up the ranks throughout the years and really working hard to increase their skills so they could compete in the Pro Division. And, you know, they made some Sundays last year. Very impressive performance in Chicago in the prelims where they went undefeated. But the question, right, for these, like Infamous has won tournaments before. A lot of different guys since the last time they got a victory. I think 2017 was the last time we saw Infamous hoist a trophy for first place. But Hurricanes have never won a pro paintball tournament. But Jesus, they're getting really good. They've now made a Sunday again in their second pro year. First event, they picked up Nick Ripple, one of the best snake players, and that team's deep. I mean, man to man, on that roster, they got a lot of options.
Yeah, and it's a great story, right, too, because they do a lot with a little, right? They don't have a ton of money. They don't have a ton of big budget, not a ton of big sponsors, but they really work really hard. They've been playing together for a long time. They have a good coaching structure, just a good, solid program.
And Mike Bianca been doing a great job.
He's doing a great job. I kind of thought he was going to be in the running for Coach of the Year.
But so the question I have, though, is that, because we keep seeing this with these younger pro teams that are making some Sundays, but they can't get out of the first round. Other than Level took third and NRG Elite did get into the quarters, but it's just very few times have we seen these up-and-coming pro teams that have proven that they can make Sunday to get past the first round.
That's the next step, right? This is they had to get past their first plateau was we get to Sunday, right? Then it's the next plateau is top 8. Then the next plateau is top 4. Yeah. And then at some point you're like, hey man, we're playing for first and second, bro. This is a big deal. But it takes a long way to get there, and that's why it's so meaningful when you do get there and you do succeed.
Well, if the Hurricanes could find a way to knock out Infamous. Infamous was playing this field really aggressively yesterday. It was fun to watch them play. They put up 8 points in one game. Some of these games are finishing with the final combined score of 2-1.
Yeah, so, I was going to say significantly less than 8.
Yeah, so Infamous going 2-2, keeping the game, the loss they had against Dynasty in their last match close to, and they had a good point spread. So, but they caught a wild card berth, and that's currently where it stands right now. So similar situation. Jonah's still up there. Tactical retreat, though, for Infamous to get back, and now outside wide. Did they lose another body that we didn't see?
Not that I know of, man. I think it's 5-on-4. I think Infamous is in the Dorito 1, Dorito corner, Snake corner, and Jambros in the center, the wing, 50 Snake.
Yeah, it's 5-on-4 still. Just by the way that the player in the snake side was repositioning, I thought maybe an extra body had snuck off.
Well, what's probably going on, Matt, is the pace of this point is so fast, you're probably missing some stuff out there because of the way the guys are just flying down the field.
Well, Stuart Ridgel's now moved up here to try to get a little closer to Jonah Jamrose. Stuart Ridgel now going to back up off at a spot.
Like the way he's kind of probing there, playing over the top, Matt, using those eyes, trying to find what Jamrose is doing, where his gun is. Man, I watched that point again yesterday where Jamrose had the Ryan behind him. Shooting and switching like that was amazing. He may be a robot.
Yeah, Jonah getting pretty good. He's having a good event. So that's the question for Infamous is, second place overall 2 seasons ago. And then they lost Greg Sewers, and then they lost Harrison this year. So who's going to emerge as the elite offensive threat to take over for those guys? Well, Jonah may be that guy, but right now he's going to get diced up by Stuart Ridgel, who is definitely an elite offensive threat for Hurricanes. He's one of the best players on that team. Constantly keep seeing him do things like this, and then he's going to come back. So just
I love that.
I love it too. Infamous not able to protect Jonah, and Stuart makes him pay. And then look at this. He goes right back to his spot.
3-on-5 advantage now for the Hurricanes, and this is so important. First point of this match here Sunday morning, Matt. This is a big point here for the Hurricanes. They're the underranked team here. They're in a 5-on-3 situation as Brusselback pushes up to 50. Hurricanes lose their first player, Matt. 4-on-3 now.
Yeah, body drop.
4-on-2, sorry.
Body dropping from the D side, but they still have a pretty good crossfield spread. They have another body on that D side, and then Stuart's actually going to go all the way over. No one's shot a paintball at Stuart Ridgel for probably about a minute and a half.
Yeah, his force field is very strong. He's reading this field very, very well, right? He's going to all the spots, blocking everybody out. Makes it look like he's just standing there in the open, but he's actually using bunkers all over the field to block out the opposing players.
I'm wondering if he knows there's a body in D4.
He saw. Oh,
see, I don't think he did, because the way
he saw him go in from the snake. I thought.
I don't think so, because the way he was playing that. Oh, but they lose Brusselback, so Brusselback thought was going to have a chance to turn the tables here.
I think it's a 3-on-1 or 3-on-2, Matt. I think it's 3-on-2. I think Infamous just has the two corners, and Hurricanes have the snake corner, this 50 snake, and the Dorito 2. This is a really, really important point here for the Hurricanes. If they can win this point, kind of control this beginning of the match, it's going to put the emphasis on Infamous to next point push forward into the guns of the Hurricanes, and that's going to be challenging on this field. They're playing it very controlled.
Well, with what we saw in the prelims and the majority of the games is if you do go up early, it just makes it so much easier for you on this specific layout. Some layouts, comebacks are much easier, but this layout, you go up a couple points and play fundamental paintball after that, it's just really hard to crack through that defensive line. So, yeah, they still have a bit of work to do. Looks like one body left alive for Infamous in the back corner bunker.
I think it's one in each corner, Matt.
Is it each
2-on-2.
Okay, so 2-on-3, right? 2-on-3?
Am I missing a oh, that's right. There's a Hurricane player first. Sorry.
Pate's at the 50
50 snake. Yeah, so there's two players on the 50. 50 snake, 50 Dorito, and then one in the snake corner behind for the Hurricanes. 3-on-2 advantage for the Hurricanes.
Now for Infamous, if Infamous could find a way to win this low body situation, it would be a huge momentum and a mental boost for them.
Well, but both of these coaches are thinking about the clock right now, right? The Hurricanes guys are like, hey, if the longer this point goes, as long as we win, the better it is for us. Infamous is starting to think, hey, man, if we're going to lose this really, really long point, we probably don't want to lose any more time than we have to. At some point, they're going to either have to try to go forward and win this point, or the coach is going to have to concede the point if the Hurricanes just sit there with really discipline.
Well, Pate with a little retreat to try to get a better angle on that D side. Player for Infamous goes into Dorito 1 from the back corner, and then they still have Callie Rudolph in this back corner bunker over here on the snake side. He just popped the top to try to maybe catch one of the Hurricanes players making a move, but the Hurricanes players are still in their current spots.
Pate just grabbed for a clip, and there was no clips in his harness. He's like, oh, cool, no paint, awesome.
Yeah, Pate's out of paint. I think his teammate in the D side, I don't see many pods on his back. And then I can't see Nick Ripple's pack, but he can't have much paint left either. Nick Ripple's still anchoring things in the back corner bunker on the snake side. Wouldn't mind to see him move up here as they have the extra body, right? When you have a 3-on-2 situation, we're always looking at the 3 and we'll ask the question, who has the ball? That means who should be the one making the moves based on who's getting either the least amount of pressure, or given this situation must be the one to make the move from a tactical perspective. And I think that Ripple could probably get up here a little bit, and he must have heard me, because he has now moved up into the Edsturm bunker snake side and looking like he's going to go into the snake. So nice job by Nick Ripple here to get into the game, and he's going to get to the 50 brick.
Here goes the move. If this player goes from Drew to 1, Drew to 2, now Drew to 3. If it's looking to push up on the Drew side, got to be careful though, because again, Nick Ripple is in their snake. He actually has a shot crossfield, and Drew hasn't seen it yet. Now he sees it. Does he? Let's see if he can hit it, Matty. He sees it. Oh, Infamous steps up into it.
I think he got the shot in on him. He did. Okay. Nice shot by Nick Ripple. And that is going to do it. So the Hurricanes took some time, did it smart, burnt a ton of time off the clock. I mean, there's only 5 minutes and 39 seconds left.
Man, that was control paintball 101, and very impressive for such a young team. A young team of old men. Such a young team of old men.
Young as in pro experience.
Yes.
Older as in years of age for the actual humans on the roster.
Two interesting matches here this morning. This is very interesting match with the Bears and NRG, because NRG is kind of an offensive, attacking, probing team, and the Bears are kind of a controlled cross-up team. And we'll see which one prevails here based on their skills in this layout.
Well, the Brooklyn Bears had a great day on day one,
Yep,
but
2-0.
day two, not as good, as they dropped both their matches, but still able to catch a wild card berth, and they're going to go pretty aggressive here as they send Baltimore all the way into Snake 1 off the break. So gutsy play call, but it works out for them.
Great positions for both teams. 5 alive for both teams. Both teams with a player in that key center bunker. Brooklyn Bears, first team to get into the Snake. Snake 1 looking inside.
So good position for the Bears with Joey Altimore here in Snake 1 and Jared Sester right beside him. Sester played really well for him in day one.
Yeah, good 1-2 combo there.
Yeah, and then Travis Trawick's been playing great for NRG Elite from this wedge.
I think it's Trawick.
Trawick?
I'm sorry, they asked me this morning. The dad called to correct it. I believe it's Trawick. I guess in that area, that's the way it's pronounced. Trawick. We'll try to get it right. Sorry. I told him if he keeps playing as well as he played yesterday, we will get his name down really well.
Much easier if his last name was like Smith.
Yeah, Bob.
Telford.
Yes.
Something just rolls off the tongue.
Something smooth and buttery. Both teams, good communication, just probing each other, trying to find out exactly where the bodies are, where those guns are pointing from those positions, and where they might have an advantage. Trying to avoid, obviously, putting themselves in a disadvantage. Trying to make good decisions on their gunfighting. Trying to put pressure on the other team, but not so much pressure where you get dinked out by somebody. These first points of the match, especially on this field, are hypercritical. You need to be able to go out and win this first point as slowly and smartly as you can, so the next point it forces the team to come into attack, and on this field it's very easy to be defensive.
I'm just going to call him Travis from now on.
Travis.
Call him by his first name.
Trawick. And I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, not the way I'm supposed to, but eventually I will get it, I promise.
Well, it's T-R-A, so Trawick, not Trawick?
I think it's Trawick.
Okay.
I think that's just the way it's pronounced up there.
Cool.
I don't think it was our bad. I think it'd be a little extra critical, but, we want to be perfect, so.
Well, it's like we always say, I'm going to butcher your name until you tell me the proper pronunciation, unless it is some super vanilla name.
For me, it's not even that. Like, if you played really good paintball, I will know your name, right? If you stand out on the field, I will definitely know your name. I will know how to pronounce your name eventually. It's a process, right? First get recognized, then give me the time and I'll pronounce it.
There comes Sester. Jared comes through.
Nice. Trey knows he's there, I believe. This might be a trade here on NRG side of the field. Oh, here we go, roundy round.
Who's going to be the one to stay alive?
Oh, Trawick.
So Trawick does stay alive in that, so it's a tough break there for Sester.
Wow, he gets 2, Maddie.
Yeah, Travis balling out again. He's been a huge component of the offense for NRG Elite.
Oh, Travis Trawick? Yeah, he is having an amazing
Remember the name, boys. Remember the name.
That was the best that could have gone for him there, right? Round around, didn't get caught, and then ended up getting a bonus buddy on top of it.
You got to be good. You got to get a little lucky, too.
That's right, man. You have to have some luck. You got to be really, really good, and you got to have some things go your way, and that went his way for sure. Might not be the move of the day, but it was the most entertaining move so far this morning.
Well, tell you what, we got $1,000, courtesy of the Smith family.
$1,000?
Yeah, Mary Catherine and Pate Smith.
Thank you, Paintball patrons.
Put up some money here.
We appreciate it.
Best move.
Bears dropping another player from the Dreer side. Sakaguchi taking the walk, Matty. Trawick gets another elimination. I believe it's a 5-on-1 now, Matt, with NRG having a big advantage here.
Well, Trawick, MVP of that one. But a full court press from NRG.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Five bodies live.
I mean, perfect point.
I mean, Trawick did all the work, shot everybody, but the other guys did a good job of watching him do it.
Sometimes those are the best
just staying alive sometimes is all you got to do.
I used to love those points.
Yeah, when you don't really do anything.
Shooting your gun and you just start hearing just kills.
G1, G2, G3.
You're like, I think this is going great.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not shooting these guys. This game is going good, man. It's when you hit that, you just start hearing ups. And you're like, oh, this is going to be a rough one, boys. Cleaning crews in full effect.
Yeah. Why are we dying so much? So the Hurricanes up by 1 currently over Infamous, and not a lot of time left in this one. So Infamous is, I have no worries that Infamous is going to push the issue. They are they're proving to be one of the most aggressive teams out here in 2023. That's for sure.
That's always been their style, and they're just, they've got a good enough roster now that they can kind of get back to that style of paintball.
Also just so cool with Travis and Callie and the boys are doing with Pro DNA.
I love what Dynasty and Infamous is doing.
Yeah.
I want the two companies to merge and make like one big paintball company. But let's keep that on DL. I don't want that getting out, okay?
So Infamous controlling those 50s, and quite often teams have been a little bit puzzled as to how to break into the cross once they get to the 50-yard lines. But Infamous has had enough reps on this field now because of the high level of aggression that they're probably going to be the teams that have, or could potentially be the team that's figured that out. But they're going to have to display that right now because they're down by 1. They have the spots. It's under 5 minutes to play, and look at the Hurricanes here on your screen, tucked in as tight as they possibly can. Not giving
no hoppers,
Infamous,
no packs, right?
Yeah,
no hoppers, no packs.
Not giving Infamous anything.
And this is, I think, probably, if you ask the Hurricanes, like, how would you like to play this match? Like, we'd like to go up 1 point. We'd like to play super defensively, force Infamous to have to push into our guns through these huge gaps, get up a couple bodies, switch back to offense, win that point as long and slowly as possible. And Infamous is now forced to try to dink a couple. They spend a couple minutes trying to dink a guy out, but if they don't dink a guy out, they've got to start breaking themselves on the rocks of Gibraltar and just try to get up the field. And it's not going to be easy. 5-on-5 battle here still.
Yeah, not.
Callie's repositioning from the center Aztec.
Not do or die time quite yet here for Infamous as they still have 4 minutes to work with, but we go through another 2.5 minutes. They're going to have to start running into these guns.
It's interesting how everybody's kind of abandoned the center of that field, right? Where Friday and Saturday there was constantly bodies up in the mix there.
I mean, Infamous has 2 bodies up there right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't see the center 50 guy. I apologize. I was like, I'm missing one guy out there.
Yeah, so both the 50s at the center of the field are currently occupied by Infamous, and they're crossed up. One shooting D side, one shooting Snake side, and they have help. I mean, the Infamous is loading up
good support
bodies,
positions.
but
yeah.
it's almost getting time where they're going to need a couple more secondaries. They need to flood up the field. They need to get closer to these 2 attackers.
Oh no, Infamous might have just lost. Oh, that was a close one.
Yeah,
he's so far isolated from everybody that if they lose that guy, Infamous is in big trouble.
We're just talking about the back corner bunker on the Dorito side, but speaking of losing a guy, they're going to be losing Ryan Hall, and he comes off shaking his head in frustration, knowing that that's a tough death in a crucial moment. I mean, yeah, still 5-on-5, so it's not like they had a high body situation that they squandered, but we're down to 3 minutes. They're down.
It just makes it
they need a point.
little harder to win this next point, which they have to win.
Yeah.
Both teams are communicating really, really well. Both teams are really, really showing that they understand these fields. They understand what the lanes are. They know what's going on. They just haven't figured out how to break the puzzle yet. They haven't. Hurricanes are playing such tight paintball that they haven't been able to dink one of them out, so now they're going to have to start applying pressure and going forward. And the worst case is if they lose more bodies, they're even going to have more pressure to go forward, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no matter what, they have to go forward unless they somehow win 3 gunfights. But the way the Hurricanes are tucked in so tight,
they're not gunfighting. I
don't see that's going to happen. They're not giving them anything. They're just controlling zones. They're not engaging in a reckless gunfight. They're tucked into their spots. They've walked this field. They've played it now through 4 games. It's their 5th game, and they know the zones they need to control. They're basically they're saying, hey, look, Infamous, we have a lead. We know you have those spots. Well, come get it.
Yeah, we know where we're at in this game, and we're playing appropriately, right? And we know from past experience, when you're on Infamous side of this right now, you have extra frustration because you want to go win this point for your team, but they're not giving you anything, right? They're not gunfighting you. They're not continually running their guns so you can follow the line back in and get a hopper. You can't make a big move and get a pack because of the gaps. So you start getting more and more frustrated, and you start pushing the envelope a little bit more and a little bit more, and then you tend to make mistakes.
Well, Infamous is getting down to it here. There is 1 minute and 36 seconds left to go. They haven't shot anybody from the Hurricanes. They've been at those 50s the entire point, and they have to start attacking. They don't have, I mean, they need to give themselves at least a good 40 seconds
and again,
to try to execute the chaos.
With the new schedule, this is, we're doing the finals matches in the mornings now, so this is the finals match. And that's why it's such a seriously slow and methodical game, because this is for first and second.
Yeah, this is indicative of what we are possibly going to see today. I don't mind it, though. I mean, this is just technical paintball. This is how it is.
It's super technical. I'm just warning you. If you like this pace, it might slow down a little bit later today. So don't expect this all day.
By the way, we had our first Rich Shelford sarcasm this morning. We're actually in the wild card round right now, so we still got a lot of paintball to be played before we get to 1 and 2. But looking forward to it. Running referee coming back and checking out.
That's twice, yeah.
Yeah, and now he's coming out. So
5-on-3, Maddie.
It's Tim Brussel.
Brussel
back.
He took a hard bounce earlier, got checked by the ref, but this time.
So now the options are very limited here for Infamous. They do not have any time. They cannot concede the point. They have to rush forward into these guns, and they haven't shot anybody yet. So here goes.
Hopefully they don't get a penalty.
Patience.
It's like Zach Patient
yeah,
there.
Patience begging for a penalty. He's not going to get it. Callie Rudolph dives into the 50. Here comes Sam Silberg. He gets diced up.
5-on-1 here, Matty. Take it easy on Callie, guys. He's one of the good ones. Wow, Hurricanes look very, very good here, Matt. If I was in the infamous pit right now, I'd be super concerned.
Oh, yeah, because they're going home. It's just game over. Well, the situation here for the Hurricanes is it could not have gone better. When Mike Bianco was probably drawing this up, he's like, all right, here's what we're going to do, boys. We're gonna go up by 1. Hopefully 2, maybe 3, and then we're going to go defense. We're going to have them try to come in our guns, and hopefully we burn enough clock off that they're not going to be able to have a chance to come back. Now, maybe not thinking it was going to happen with the score this low, but still, that's all it took.
They just played the point that you and I talked about Thursday, right? What happens if one of the top, we assumed it was going to be impact or damage. What happens if a team like damage or impact gets up on you 1 point on this layout and decides to just go to these spots and do these things? What are you going to be able to do about it? And we were like, I don't know, man. I don't know if you can get through that cross.
We thought the same thing.
And a lot of times, again, teams have an extra weekend to figure this stuff out, right? But without having that extra weekend, these guys are out there scratching their heads like, hey, I don't know how to get through this cross, man.
Yeah, a lot of frustrated looks in the pits here for Infamous as they're going to be packing their bags and heading home. But Hurricanes are going to be moving on to play New York Extreme in the quarterfinals.
5-on-5 breakout, Matty, for both teams. NRG from the red side of the field. Brooklyn Bears from the blue. NRG winning that first point very easy off the work of Trey Garthen there in the center laydown. Got a few.
You mean Treywick?
Treywick, yeah, sorry. Got a few early eliminations and then closed out very well. Both teams in similar situation. Brooklyn with 3 over here on the snake side.
Do you think that we're going to see another situation? 11-minute point right here.
I don't know that NRG has the discipline to do that. That was what the Hurricanes just pulled off. You know, it seems like it would be easy just to sit in one spot and not die and shoot a zone, but it's very, very disciplined. Very, very hard for a paintball player to have that kind of discipline. Our minds don't really work that way.
Well, you have to change gears completely, right? That's what makes the top teams a top team. So, the Hurricanes came out and played, Stewart was all over the place in that first one. I mean, they were pushing the issue intelligently, and then they go hardcore defense. The teams that win paintball tournaments in the pro division have all the gears. They can play fast if the field requires or the situation requires it, and then they can dig in when they need to and play defense. If you play defense, you got to make your shots, and that's exactly what they did. So, yeah, does NRG Elite have that composure? We'll see. I mean, every tournament's a new tournament. Every day is a new day, and they've been training, and they keep looking better. I mean, they made a Sunday. They've made Sundays in the past. Now, the Brooklyn Bears also used to beat Seattle Thunder, and they were 6th overall last year. So this could get interesting here. They got Sester back to his position. Again, he just always seems to be right at that wedge.
Yep.
Travis is going to scurry back to get a little bit different angle there on the snake side.
Well, and I like that. He's less vulnerable there, right? It's harder for them to run him. And again, being up by 1 point, NRG does not need to win this point. They just need to not lose this point. So he goes up there early. He exchanges, lets them know that they're there, comes back and kind of sets up the trap. If they try to come get him, he can protect himself.
Joey Altamore is in snake 1, Sester in the wedge, and they got a body right behind him as well too. So. Well, here comes the battle going down right now as Jared moves forward to try to get the shot on Travis. Travis have something on his stomach?
Yep.
I think the referees, looks like she was going to look at it real quick.
Yeah, it was something. It might just been rub off the bunker. But
yeah.
Just like we said, Travis was up front, showed him where he was, went back, set the trap. He went through to try to get him. He wasn't there anymore and ended up staying alive.
Off of that chaos, though, Joey Altamore was able to make it into the 50-yard line, and he does have a body right behind him with Frank Antetomaso, who's kind of been all over the field. So it's Frank and Joey here as the attackers on the Bears for the Bears, trying to push into these guns for NRG.
Put a lot of pressure on the D-side can, Matty, for NRG. He's having a hard time staying alive in there. Guns in the air, not able to shoot his gun, just sitting there. Oh, it looks like he's got a squeegee in his hand. Maybe he's breaking some paint. Oh, NRG loses their first player in the snake corner, Matty. 4-on-4 now. Slight switch of momentum there to the Bears.
Well, that's a huge kill, right? I mean, because NRG needs everybody out there they possibly can get, and if you're going to play defense, you got to stay alive. You got to make your shots, and dying out of that back bunker, which would be a bit of a fortress. That gives Frank a lot of breathing room, and gives Robbie a lot of breathing room. Or sorry, Joey, just the ability to maneuver around a little bit more in this spot. They don't have to worry about that sideline angle anymore. And now we're getting a look here at NRG Elite, trying to take a page out of the Hurricanes book from what we just saw. Tucked into their spots, not trying to give anything, but they're tucked in the pocket. They have the body up there, and they sure enough, they lose that body from the can. So when you allow the team to get out wide on you, it just gets really tight the way those angles work, as Altamore has outside contained. And to Tommaso inside, looking like he wants to go. Yeah, he's going to go across that 50-yard line. 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in this match.
4-on-3, Maddie. NRG with the player in the temple, back center, and the lay-down wedge in the center of the field. Brooklyn Bears with Dorito can.
Another death coming out from the backfield for NRG Elite.
So NRG down to just 2. Travis is about to get run down. Oh, they saved Travis. No, they don't. So the 2 NRG players are lined up back center and the center wing, so they cannot really protect each other. As soon as the Bears find out exactly where they are, they're going to release and get them. Bear guy's taking a little bit too long to figure this out.
Here comes Frank. Frank's going to drop the hammer, and then they're going to run through to get a little 2-pack. Make sure it's a clean move, and no penalties assessed. Robbie Altamore going to run in.
Altamore had a good point there.
Yeah, Altamore played really well. Joey Altamore and
Frank
and then
Tommaso also.
Frank and Tommaso. I mean, they were really ones that bursted open. GJ Sakaguchi was also alive in there, and I mean, they still had what, three bodies left alive. I think Frank did need to trade at the end.
Referees are talking about something out there. Hopefully it's not a penalty. Gooch is telling them to stay on the field just to make sure that if somebody gets pulled, they got bodies.
Good to see GJ getting some spins, and he's been earning them. He had that big one-on-one win. He's closed out some points. So I like that Magic Mike's and the coaching staff over at the Brooklyn Bears is riding the hot hand. I mean,
yeah.
They got a decent...
Got it, right?
They got a not the bulkiest of rosters, but, you know, for a player like GJ, I feel the best player ever to come out of Hawaii. When he first burst into the league, I was like, okay, this dude's got some skills. So it's good that they're giving him opportunities, making the most of it.
For sure.
There's Frank on your screen. And the rest of the boys here from the Brooklyn Bears just tied it up 1-1. We will have 2 minutes in between points with the really low-scoring match that we saw between the Hurricanes and Infamous as the Hurricanes punched their ticket to the quarterfinals. Going to be playing New York Extreme. It's also going to be X Factor and Dynasty and Heat and Damage coming up next. Already in the quarterfinals, and we will be awarding a golden barrel from Carbon Paintball to the MVP. Also $1,000 at stake for the best move of Sunday, courtesy of the Mary Catherine and Pate Smith family.
Very cool that they do that. Very, very cool.
And we haven't really seen, I mean, we were only a couple points in, but nothing dramatic
Listen,
yet.
It's gonna be hard for you to figure out this golden barrel thing if the score of a game is 1-0 and literally nobody did anything other than dink guys out of their bunkers. I can't wait to just sit there and watch your little head spin like, ah! But wait, if you think about,
I don't know, man. I mean, the way he was gunfighting out of that spot with that one kill.
Yeah, I mean, bro, he shot that guy in the break, and that was pretty much the game.
Yeah,
so you got to give it to him.
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be funny if a 2/3 ended up winning it from sitting in the back and shooting a guy in the break.
Because it's 1-0 and he shoots 2 bodies on the break.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, all right. So about 15 seconds before we jump into point number 3, tied up 1-1.
Man, fast-paced game. These games, back and forth. The Bears.
Split screen breakout here as the Bears pushing from the red side. NRG Elite from the blue side.
Very similar breakout for both teams, Maddie.
Looks like Scotty Graham going to get a spin here. He played really well for him in day 1. He's going to go into where Jared Sester was playing. And he's going to be looking cross-field to that D side. Good old 5-on-5 break here from both of these squads. A little bit better field position for the Bears as they have Altamore at the insert bunker on the snake side. Joey back into his spot. Both teams pretty heavy in the gunfights right now. Lots of pressure being put on their opponents.
Yeah, both teams trying to get that crucial first kill, which will give that team an advantage, both technically, but also like as you're playing. We were talking about earlier. If you hear one of your guys died early, or if you hear that you shot somebody earlier, the momentum is completely different. How much time's left, Maddie?
5 minutes and 42
Okay,
seconds.
Plenty of time.
Joey Altimore dives into snake 1, so he's right beside Scotty Graham. Scotty Graham's looking towards that D side and pumping paint into that gap like there's someone into that snake 1 position. And then here comes Travis. Travis come through. Travis gets 1, got it. He gets 2. And oh man, Travis is on fire.
He's carrying those guys.
I'll tell you, hey, if NRG Elite goes deep somehow, I mean, the way Travis is playing these first couple points.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe in the conversation for Golden Barrel.
For sure.
We're real early, but you never know. Frank Antetomaso is going to get into Snake 1 after the chaos, so he's the first to go.
4-on-3 advantage here for NRG after that move by Travis.
So crucial in professional, just in paintball in general, to be the proactive player, the proactive team, to get the good solid read and then react and try to move it in the key spot. So Frank probing right now as he gets inside. He's at the brick. Look, it's outside first, now inside. Looking behind over the shoulders here for NRG Elite from the blue side of the field. Kind of tucked into their spots. So they're going to let Frank take over the aggression and see what he can do from this 50-yard lane. Doesn't have much help, though. He's now going to get a little bit more help as Bear's filtering a body to the tower. It's the kind of key gunfighting spot from the support players, those second attackers on this snake side. And then they also have that can and maybe back center.
No, I believe it's
oh no, they got taken. Yeah, it's 3 on. Yeah, 2 bodies came off from that move from Travis. Oh, and
2-on-4, Maddie.
That's a tough death from the Bears out of that tower.
Good communication from both teams.
Yeah, so now down to just 3 players out there for.
Yeah, Bears might want to concede this point. Bears might want to concede this point. They will go down a point. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because that'll give them enough time to come back, win a point, tie it up, and get back in the match.
Yeah.
NRG's got to feel really good about that. A lot of pressure now on the Bears to go in, quickly put together a game plan and come out and be able to win a fast point on this field. Not going to be easy. But that's why it's so cool.
And I didn't get a look at the time, but there still is, yeah, so close to 4 minutes left to go as we are in the pits here. This is what you want to see when we look in the pits with the best teams in the world. They're not just staring off into the distance or talking about where they're going to eat that night. I'm sure there's a little bit at that some point, but right after the point, it's always, what were you seeing out there? Talking about every single variable intricately as you can within the context of 2 minutes.
What could we have done better? That's the question. And the answers are varied.
Yeah, well, I mean, this field is, now not a mystery anymore. Aggression can work, but you really have to be careful once you get up to the 50s if the team has decided to go hardcore defense as you push in the guns. You can't just go one at a time through the lanes. You have to be crafty, go in attack in bunches, and commit. Now, and then paintball principle, if you're going to play defense, you got to make your shots. And yeah, I mean, but it's just the intention of the teams, right? If both teams decide to go forward, then the point's going to be a little bit faster. But if one team decides they want to play defense, and NRG Elite probably going to go back to that right now, maybe take a little bit of ground, and then just edges of goggles and tips of barrels is all the Bears are going to see for a little bit here, try to burn off. Again, just a little bit under 4 minutes to go.
Get a little audio from the field there. The players walking out, figuring out what their zones are on the break. Talk about their adjustments. Here we go. Breakout from NRG there after a little bit of the audio from their pit. Bears first team into the snake. Travis goes back to that defensive position in the center bunker. He's looking snake side, just kind of protecting himself. NRG definitely understands that they're up by points here, and all they need to do is stay alive until the clock runs out to get themselves into the next round of competition. The Bears also understand that they're down on points and they have to attack into this defensive position. Maybe very interesting, and it's going to have to be very technical for teams to figure out how to start pushing through these zones, especially in a small amount of time with big numbers. If there's still 5 guys alive on the team you're pushing into and they're in the right positions, you've got to make it's going to have to be some incredible paintball. The shots are going to have to be incredible.
Bears stacking up though with some attackers in the correct position. Snake 1 and inside And it looks like they're going to go again with Altimore, Joey Altimore, and Sester. And they're keeping close right behind him and Scotty Graham. So going offensive lineup here. And body coming in, or a referee coming in, check out one of the players here for
Cannot
NRG.
afford to get a penalty.
Ooh, the way he looked at it for a second, I thought.
NRG is notorious for getting penalties at the worst times and just kind of screwing themselves.
So a triple stack of bodies here on the Snake side to try to help the Bears move forward with just 2:26 to go.
Honestly,
now.
though, I think they have to get on NRG side of the field before they're going to have any shots. And they're kind of sitting back and playing defense when obviously NRG loses their first player from that can on the D side, man. Tough can. That's the most vulnerable position in that zone that they're playing.
And then it helps them launch on the D side here on the Snake side. Scotty Graham going to get up. So, I mean, they pretty much have all 5 bodies very close to either the 40 or the 50-yard line.
4-on-4, Matty, as Bears lose their first player.
Yeah, Robbie Altimore coming off. Or, sorry, Joey Altimore coming off.
Bears now with Dorito 4, Snake 50. Good attack positions. But you have to get all the way there, and then you still haven't got through the biggest zones on the field yet. They've got 3 players on the 50, and now they got to try to cross from their side of the field into NRG side of the field, and it's not going to be easy. And the longer they take to do it, the less chance they have of winning this game.
Well, Frank and Jared here at the 50-yard line trying to figure it out. They got very little time to work with. Do get a kill, though.
3-on-4, Matt.
Yeah,
3-on-4.
They got the opportunity. They got a body
3-on-2,
advantage.
Matt. 3-on-2.
It's getting broken open from the D side. The D side is getting it done right now for the Bears. So there's GJ Sakaguchi. I can't see who the other player is here for the Brooklyn Bears, but looking like they could tie it up. They still got a little bit of work to do. 2 more bodies. The Snake needs to get it now. For a second, yeah.
Both NRG guys are looking D side.
Yeah, they're totally focused on the D side. There's no guns on the Snake side right now.
And there's 2 players, so either one of them could release.
Jared needs to just drop the hammer on Travis.
Yeah.
Run the other out, not that inside route. Run the outside route.
4-on-2.
He's going right into Travis's gun.
Yeah.
And Jared's got to be very careful. Well, he ends up getting a shot in on him, so the close could happen here still. 43 seconds left to go. Just one more kill.
This would be really impressive if he could hold the 3 of them off.
30 seconds.
This would be a golden barrel.
I don't think it's going to happen.
They think there's somebody in back center still, Matty.
And then they finally pinch him out. So
there was 4-on-1. What are you guys doing? There's 4 of you. There's one of them. Run down the field and smash him.
Yeah, Frank could have just dropped the hammer.
Jesus.
There's nothing stopping Frank from going in and just obliterating that guy's head. But maybe some miscommunication. Maybe they thought that there was an extra body out there.
No, I don't think so. I couldn't be clearer, Matt.
Well, Frank likes to go.
I know.
Frank's not the timid guy. So
as I was watching that, I had kind of lost track, and I was like, well, it's a 2-on-1 or whatever. I get it. They got to play tight, and then 4 dudes get up and walk off. I'm like, gee, what game were you guys watching?
I mean, Frank, former aftermath player, former college football player, loves to smash people. So
Well, that's the old Frank. The new Frank likes to watch people play paintball, apparently.
They got it done, though. It took them a little bit of time, and it took almost all of regulation time for them to put that second point on the board. But regardless, it doesn't have to look pretty. It just needs to get done. And actually, it looked pretty because that D side was getting blown open pretty solidly. Couldn't see who it was over the GJ, but
did a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah, so NRG Elite pleading patience right now. Yeah, you do need to be patient on this field.
You do. You have to wait for the right moment. It's hard to make it happen.
We see this all the time, and obviously it's easy for us to see these angles from up here. But because the way this field is, and because it is a slower playing field, I'm seeing typically on the pro leagues we don't see a ton of guys, second and making third guesses on a move. Once they feel it, the best guys are making that move. I'm seeing a lot of guys second guess some moves out here because they just sometimes don't know exactly where the bodies are. So they may know there's someone in the zone.
Yeah, and
they don't know where exactly is and which way he's exactly shooting.
A good indication of that is when you see those guys repositioning. They're like, oh, this guy's here. I got to go here to get this shot. They go there. They're like, oh, I don't have the shot from there. They go back to the other spot to try to engage.
Yeah, so my point with that is that you see when the players are NRG pleading patience, and I agree, this is a patient field, but you also have to be willing to trust your instincts and make that move because they are there. We keep seeing a lot of times when the chaos sets in and the guns are shifting back and forth that there'll be a beat where you have a good 10 seconds or 5 to 10 seconds where just like that, both guys are shooting D side. Snake side could easily move, at least taking some more ground. And yeah, there's a big gap between, but they even weren't all the way up the snake. Anyway, regardless, we're jumping in here, 14 seconds. Probably going to see an overtime point.
Snake on the break, first elimination. NRG player taking the walk. So 5-on-4 advantage here for the Bears.
Yeah, it's not going to matter. It's only 3
I was going
seconds
to say, I
left.
don't know if they'll have enough time to take advantage of it. The NRG player did make it into the snake mat. He overslid it a little bit and got caught on the outside, so they might go there again because he could have made it in there.
Well, that's my question to you now. 2 minutes between we get into this overtime point, and then after that, we are going to have heat and damage and Dynasty X Factor.
It's going to get hot.
But I think my opinion is I think the Bears will probably play this overtime point more aggressive than NRG, just because that seems to be the style that both these teams are bringing out right now.
You think they will, or you think they should?
I think they will. Do you think that NRG Elite's going to come out a little bit more aggressive in this one, or I just think that they're going to go a little bit more careful, and I think the Bears might risk it a little bit more. But we also probably could see that, that standard breakout we're starting to see right now when both teams don't want to risk anything, kind of more pocketed up, maybe risk one body out.
4 in the back and one guy in the center thing, right?
Yeah. Like the risk will be the body going to the wedge, which isn't much of a risk because nobody seems to really be able to shoot that guy. Everyone knows the body's going to that wedge, and no one can really consistently find a shot in on it.
And the problem right now with NRG, I feel like, is all the offense and defense is coming from one player in one position.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens, it gets easy for the other team to be like, hey, this dude in this spot is like shooting a couple guys a game, communicating, playing well defensively, and they decide to shut down that position, and they swing a lot of guns on that. So I'd be trying to shoot Travis on the break, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets tough now because Travis is like, hey, man, I've had a couple good games up here. Maybe I should hold back this time.
Well, but the question is, okay, look, I mean, every single team seems to have a body that's consistently getting into that wedge. So everyone knows that a guy's going to that spot.
Yeah.
No team seems to be able to consistently put a ball on that player.
Well, and because you're shooting for that, but you're also shooting for the outside guys, right? Because you can't give out the outside guys. But now, if you have a scenario like this where the outside guys are getting out there, but they're just hiding, not doing a lot, I'm putting 3 guns on him. Like, I got a gun from each tape and a guy in the middle trying to get
I figured it out. Mortar strikes and paint grenades.
Yes, thank you. I've been saying that for years. and you get to go out the night before and set up your booby traps and stuff.
That's right. Forgot about the booby traps.
Yeah, come on, bro. You want to make paintball exciting.
Yeah.
Some flares out there. Whoa!
Yeah, we just can't actually use those here. And I'm actually not a fan when we go play some rec ball, go play big games. Kind of hate paint grenades. They're just like a little bit of an argument starter.
I think they're great just because you spend so much money on it and no one's actually ever been killed by a paint grenade. They're completely harmless. Actually, that's not true. I saw Bob Long take some shrapnel in the leg at one time and get pulled off the field. It was pretty sad. But the guy who threw that grenade was so proud of himself. So proud. Bears breaking out from the red.
Tied up 2-2.
NRG breaking out from the blue.
Going to be heading into overtime, wild card round. Hurricanes already in the quarterfinals. Great job by the Hurricanes here in this first pro event, the 2023 Sunshine State Major. They're going to play in New York Extreme. Can't wait to see the Dynasty X Factor rematch.
That's exciting. That's going to be exciting, man.
Because it's tough to beat a team twice in a row. But if X Factor, they handled Dynasty pretty easily.
And they were super confident before and after that match, which I love. Bears losing their first attacker on the G side, Matt, going out to the can. But look, running referee, they might be losing another. Nope.
Running referee, for GJ in that back corner bunker here for the Bears. So both teams do send a body into the wedge we were just talking about. And, sure enough, a little bit more aggressive here for the Brooklyn Bears. They send Altimore into the insert bunker here, snake side. They get Frank behind him. Frank going to do a little tactical retreat. I think he might actually try to get back over to that D side because of that body that
referee
dropped.
Coming in, Matty.
Yeah, referee coming in to check him out. Looks like Frank is good to go.
NRG's all the way up to Dorito 4, Matt. I don't know that they know that he's there yet.
That could be the key move.
If he can sneak and get a kill on this Dorito side, if Frank or somebody tries to get outside there, that'll be huge. 4-on-5 advantage here for NRG. Guy up in the Dorito 4, up in the center wing as well. Sakaguchi now gets, Sakaguchi eliminated as he goes from the corner into Dorito 1. Big advantage here for NRG.
Yeah, just...
NRG lose their first attacker, Dorito side, Matt.
Yeah, huge kill right now for the Bears. It was a tough death for GJ out of that spot, but then Frank's going to fill it. So it's a 3-on-4 situation here in favor of NRG Elite as Frank Antetomaso all the way back into the Doritos now. So if he can make his way up that side, that would be a huge swing move. They get Altimore into Snake 1, and then Jared... He's at the wedge, and he's not feeling much pressure because he's just wrapped around and just really focusing, whereas Travis is totally just completely dedicating his gun, and I think rightfully so, on Altimore. Altimore's going to crawl up inside. So a little 2-on-1 situation, at least for the forward bunkers. But NRG Elite also has a body with Bowen in the insert bunker here, snake side. He's shooting crossfield, trying to keep Frank honest over there. And it's getting interesting here as we have 3 minutes left to go. If we do not have a winner, we will be heading into one-on-ones. We already saw one-on-ones in the prelims with Graham Arnold playing the hero for Uprising. Uprising not able to make it.
I like the fact that the Bears are down by a body, but they understand the way to win on this field is to attack and not sit back. So although they're down a body, Frank's gotten out to the Drio side. They're up 2 players on the 50 side. NRG's sitting back a little more defensively.
Jared's popping the top for a while.
Yeah, that always scares. It's a trap, right? Like, it feels so good to come over the top and be able to see the whole field. But, NRG, Bowen taking the walk. Critical bad death there from Bowen. Now 3-on-3, Matt. NRG now in a not as strong as position for sure.
Yeah, huge kill for the Brooklyn Bears. It was not looking good for the Bears for a second, but Frank making the big move across was crucial. And then Altimore and Sess are staying alive over here and making some moves of their own to present a threat. So now NRG Elite playing on their heels and just focusing on rolling those guns.
Yeah, and I don't feel like NRG understands how to play the field as much, because now that Travis is dead, the point's pretty much over, because he was there, like I said, all their offense and defense.
And unfortunately for NRG Elite, the game. Now, it is a 2-on-1, so we could see some heroic action out right here. I think that is Weaver that's still alive. Or Buffton. Is that Buffton or Weaver?
I can't see. If it's Buffton, he actually does a pretty good job of pulling out some points.
So does Weaver.
Yeah, so they might have a shot here.
Ooh,
Ref is coming in.
Check him out. Looks like he's good to go.
Yeah, Bears are not playing good 2-on-1 paintball here. They're playing 1-on-1. They've got to get both guys just pumping that guy.
Yeah, I mean, Frank's pretty far away, but he just did move up into D4.
Yeah, but they're letting him stand over the top of the bunker. They're just not putting enough pressure on him. Now he's kind of down. But yeah, they should not be. You should not be able to do that in a 2-on-1 in that position if the two guys are playing it right.
Well, how much time to work with?
I was just going to say, maybe
a minute.
Maybe
and they
waiting.
get the kill on him. So winning a low body situation here. The Brooklyn Bears, unaware of the count. They don't
playing
know
smart. They're just playing smart. I get it.
Smart. They got time to work with.
Yep. Really good play there from the Brooklyn Bears. Great match from NRG as well.
And then Joey Altimore is going to run in and hit the buzzer. Actually, he's going to ask for Frank to come in and make sure.
Smart.
He's like, hey,
Frank, come on, clock in, bro.
Yeah. He's like, Frank, we've killed everyone. I would like a check. And
Frank's like, you know how tight my hamstrings are? I can't walk all the way over there, bro.
Great job by Frank Antetomaso.
All the way from this corner all the way over there.
Corner to corner and
great
then up
read
the
and react.
field.
Yep, great read and react. Good job, Frank.
He got in the most amount of steps of any player out of the 10 that just played.
Again, he's
point.
paid by the step, so.
Yeah, good job, Frank. And good job, Joey Altimore. He's been holding it down here on the snake side.
Yeah, and Bears were down, right? It was a 3-on-5, right? They had every opportunity to lose that game.
And a come from behind victory.
That's right.
Because at one point, NRG Elite had a 1-point advantage. So that is going to do it here. Brooklyn Bears moving on. They're going to be playing Edmonton Impact coming up next or not coming up next, but they're moving into the quarterfinals to play Impact. Coming up next is going to be Houston Heat and Damage and X Factor and San Diego Dynasty. The Hurricanes also won a really low-scoring game against Infamous, so knocking out one of the legends in our sport. Infamous still with some work to do, but the Hurricanes look pretty dialed, playing this field really well. Magic Mike there, the owner of the Brooklyn Bears, got to be pretty stoked. So battle going down here on Central Court. Most important day of the tournament, first event of the year, 2023 NXL Sunshine State Major. There's a schedule on your screen. I'm Matty Marshall here on Go Sports, and I'll see you in just a few.